Welcome to Legend Analysis 52, where we, Val. Let's get this out of the way right now. I already know what everyone's opinions are on Val. People really like her for some reason. I suppose I understand why, but I hate Val just for that reason. She has high speed, gauntlets, amazing Sigs that are beyond busted. Everybody loves Val for those reasons, and I absolutely hate her for those reasons. And I used to be a Val main too. She was one of my highest leveled legends on console, being higher than 30. When I began hating gauntlets, I just didn't really like playing her that much anymore. She's annoying to deal with, and she isn't as fun to play as other gauntlet legends in my opinion. And I don't find many sword legends fun in the first place. As usual, we'll start off with the Sigs. Val Sigs I personally think are some of the best in the game. Gauntlet Insig is a pretty good example of this. It covers a really good angle for what it does, and depending on how you hit it, it will send forward or downward. The area once again is extremely generous. I feel like it definitely needs a tone down on the hitboxing or power. Gauntlet Side Sig is even more of a crime to use. It's pretty simple to understand, but it's too good for being simple. It's fairly quick and has great power. There isn't a downside to the Sig really. Another one of Val's Sigs I personally think needs a nerf. Gauntlet Down Sig is her worst Gauntlet Sig by far, but not because it's bad. Insig and Side Sig just excel so much more. The Sigs hit pretty low on the ground, making it a bit harder to hit and makes you a bit more open to getting hit. Of course, if you do hit the Sig, then you're getting some good damage, just not one I see Val players use as much. Although it does go true with Nair and Recovery, it's pretty specific, and it's not what I see Val players do very much. Sword and Sig is a great Sig on Val. The specific way it hits and flows with Sword's kit makes it honestly one of Val's best Sigs. The reason for that is the true combo potential. Downlight GC Insig and downlight Chase Dodge Insig. Yes, it's just the one true combo, but this just means hitting a downlight gives you a free Sig hit, which with Sword isn't extremely hard to do. The Sig alone is also very good with the way it hits and the angle it sends. Sword Side Sig is a bit janky, not entirely powerful in some aspects. The hitboxing, for example, can be pretty questionable. Although this Sig has 3 different parts to it, which makes it much better. The onstage version, the offstage version, and the wall version. The onstage version honestly might be the worst, the offstage version honestly might be the best, and the wall version honestly might be, well, it's alright, but not super great. It's a very solid Sig that can be used in so many different situations thanks to how it acts. Sword Down Sig. I can't say this one is extremely good. It's not extremely bad, but I don't know, I can't seem to put it into words. It hits all around you, kind of like one of those get off me Sigs, but more tame. Not one of our more powerful Sigs, but I think it's useful for what it does. Overall, Val's Gauntlet game is just so much better. It has much more useful Sigs, and Gauntlets in its current state is just so much better than Sword. Although both are useful, Gauntlets reign superior. Looking at the skins, Val has so many, some of the most in the game, and some of the best looking too. So while I would say let's blast through them, it might be a while. God tier has Future Wave Val Tier 1 and Stevani. Synthwave is honestly just one of my favorite styles of skins, and the Tier 1 version is great without overdoing it. Stevani is one of the best crossovers as well for Val. Although Stevani does look a bit weird, we get to see some absolutely amazing Sig usage here, with Lion, the Shield, and even Steven and Connie unfusing during the side Sig. Pretty good tier has Kunoichi, Dragon Slayer, Chimera, Mythic Hero, and Future Wave Tier 2 and 3. I love the face mask on Kunoichi, Dragon Slayer looks badass as well. Chimera has an interesting design, but it's overall good. Mythic Hero I've always liked for the eyes, but I've never actually owned it. And Future Wave Tier 2 and 3 I do think are pretty rad, but they overdo it a bit when compared to Tier 1, and animated skins really aren't my thing. Mid-tier has Hardsuit Val, Commando Val, and Mikey. Hardsuit I really don't like a lot because it blocks the face, but it's still a very solid skin. Commando gives Val a cool, well, Commando vibe, one I think fits very well on Val. And Mikey is an interesting one. He has good Sig effects in my opinion, just looks a bit goofy is all. But of course all the TMNT crossovers look a bit goofy, it's just the style to the types of skins they are. But it's still a pretty good crossover with pretty good Sig effects. Med tier has Starmerc and Nutcracker Val. Starmerc always felt a bit weird to me. I would have just ran Hardsuit or Kunoichi at the time since it was a base game skin for Val. And then Nutcracker is the only exclusive for Val, but honestly it doesn't strike as all that interesting. The outfit is a bit strange and the makeup is really what throws me off about it, the hairstyle too. Then Get Out Tier has the one Val skin I despise, and I know everybody loves this skin, Akuma. Look, I suppose you could say it has cool Sig effects, but it doesn't really strike as appealing to me for multiple reasons. The main reason is just because so many people overuse the skin. The other Val crossovers feel so much more unique and even look a lot better too. I've also just never played Street Fighter, so there's an add-on. That's probably why a lot of people like it too, is because it's from Street Fighter and Akuma's a really badass character. Just to me, I don't really like it that much. It gives off an extremely sweaty vibe. Tier list-wise, out of SA, B, C, and D, I'm for sure putting Val in S tier. We already understand the case with gauntlets. It's been meta for years. As for Sword, while I don't think the weapon is extremely good, Sword isn't extremely bad either. It's around the high A tier at the moment, it feels like, or you could argue low S tier. With the pretty good weapons, amazing signatures, you better believe Val is extremely good. Her stats pretty much support that too, with 4 attack, 5 dex, 6 defense, and 7 speed. I always remember it since it's just a straight line down. Either way, for stances, I would suggest going anything but dex. Dex just doesn't really support either weapons in a good enough way for it to be useful. You could run attack stance to take down on the high speed for more force, extremely high speed for lower defense, and defense to take down on the already useless dex. Again, any of them besides dex are useful, although I would recommend attack or defense for the best gain. With the amazing stats as well, you better believe her play rate's through the roof. It's been top 8 for a while now, and it just shows no signs of leaving. In all honesty, I do believe Val is overpowered. Her usage in 1s is unmatchable, and in 2s is even more powerful thanks to the game combo potential. There isn't really a part of Val that falls flat. Weapons, Sigs, stats, you name them all. Of course, I can't change your thoughts on Val. Just because I hate her doesn't mean you have to as well. I just see her so often, it's almost more than Mordex, and it can get pretty irritating to deal with. Either way, that wraps up the Val analysis, and I believe that's the final Gauntlet Legend on the Legend Analysis series as well. Of course, it's not the last we'll be seeing Gauntlets overall. We'll obviously see it in the future too. So we'll just have to wait until that time comes. Either way, thanks for watching the Val analysis, and I'll see you all next time. For now, keep on brawling.